Yeah. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. They're laughing at me here. I had an eye appointment. I have one eye like dilated that big.
Oh, you can't notice on the screen.
Good. They were noticing it here. I mean, it's okay.
I'm just
All
going to
right.
close one of these windows because I've got all this glare on my face. Hold on 1 second. A little bit
Okay.
better.
So I'm just getting set up so it's all set to go to our live on Facebook. And I have thank you for doing this, by the way. It's great to see you
Thanks for
again.
inviting me. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know. Yeah. Your name pops up now and then, but yeah, these are weird times we're going through.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see anyone unless it's on one of these recently.
Right. Share to a page I manage. Daniel, you can watch me and make sure I'm doing the right steps here. My son helps me out with all this type stuff, and I'm learning, but it's sometimes still not a perfect science.
We do
me.
the Zoom to Facebook Live on Wednesdays for our coffee chat, and it took us a couple times of doing it to get it sorted.
Oh yeah, yeah. It takes a little bit for sure. Okay.
Just give it a moment.
Yeah, it takes a little while for it to, and then I won't share this to the US page because it's unique to Canada product.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'll just do our
Sure.
page here. So our title and just doing an introduction to what we're talking about on here so that it'll be the header for the live. I'm not cross posting. So when I hit live, he'll give me the signal of when it actually goes live, and then I'll start introducing you.
Okay.
So do you want to wait a few minutes, or do you want to just go ahead and start a few minutes?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Good afternoon and welcome to Travel Talk Thursdays with Travel Time. If this is your first time joining, Travel Time is a full service agency servicing clients in the US and Canada. We've received numerous awards over the years for more than a decade in the industry. We've organized these live broadcasts to bring you news and information, reliable information straight from the sources of what's going on in the travel industry. Hopefully it's brings some interesting new products that you may have not heard of for a very long time. And with that said, I'd like to welcome today our special guest, Janet Martin. She's the BDM for Club Med Resorts for Canada. And she's going to tell us all about what's new at Club Med and what the whole Club Med experience is all about. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you so much, Lois. Thank you for having me, and hello to everyone. Do you want me to share my screen now? Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh, I think you have to give me the ability to share the screen. So I have a little PowerPoint presentation. It's mostly pictures though, to show you guys some of the resorts and stuff, and where we're located and what we look like. There we go.
Okay.
All right. My computer's a little bit slow.
Okay.
All right. So as Lois said, my name is Janet Martin, and I work with Club Med Canada. And I work with the travel agents. I help them to answer questions, and I do trainings and that sort of thing. So I'm going to share with you today some information about Club Med. I know that Club Med might not be a familiar household name anymore. It used to be back in the day. It was very popular. We've been around for 70 years now. We just celebrated our 70th birthday. So we're actually
that's a very long time.
Yes, it's we were the pioneer of the all-inclusive actually. So for a while there, we were the only all-inclusive. But now there's many all-inclusives around. We're still a little bit different than what's out there, and I will let you guys know what those differences are. First, though, I think I want to talk about some of the safety measures that are in place, because I think that's kind of what's on everyone's mind lately. What are the resorts doing to make sure that it's safe, and will I be safe if I travel? So I just want to talk about we call it our Safe Together initiative. And basically, this is kind of an outline of what you'll see on property. So the staff are going to be wearing masks inside while cleaning, while preparing food. We do ask that the guests wear masks as well when they're inside. When you're outside by the pool and the beach and that sort of thing, you don't need to wear the mask. And the staff are going to be wearing gloves as well in the food prep areas and during any cleaning. There's going to be hand sanitizer all over the properties, deep cleaning measures, the social distancing markers on the floor. We've actually limited our capacity at the resorts, so we won't be selling at a full capacity. And this is to make sure, excuse me, to make sure that we are not, that we're giving space for the social distancing. So we will only be going up to a 65% occupancy at our resorts that are reopening.
This is all a new normal, isn't it, for us? And I know that, just being assured that all of these things are recognized, understood, and being put into practice as safe protocols. And I will say too, that for a lot of our listeners, I know that especially being in the Atlantic bubble, people are not necessarily, of a mindset that they're looking to travel right now. And from our perspective, we want to provide the information. We know there is a thirst for travel. And providing this safety information is of paramount importance for people planning going forward. And I know that people, once they get into 2021 and things are eased up and they're able to travel, this type of thing, having the assurances of the clean protocols will be key. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we have in place at the resorts that are reopening. And then I also want to point out one of the things that's kind of cool about Club Med, even before all this craziness started, because we are the pioneer of the all-inclusive, a lot of times we were the first ones arrived at different destinations, which gave us the ability to choose the best location at different locations, such as Cancun. So our properties are very large and spacious, lots of green space. The buildings are like low-level buildings, 2-3 floors max, lots of different buildings. It's more meant to feel like a village or a community. So which becomes a pro for us during this time because it does allow for that social distancing as well. But that's always been in place with the Club Meds. It always, like this gives you an example, this picture of Cancun. We've got that whole space where all those arrows are. That's all the Cancun property, including the lagoon in the middle. And it gives you an idea of we have about 501 rooms there, but some of the other hotels on the strip are quite large, the tall buildings with a smaller beachfront. So not as easy to social distance, whereas Club Med, all of our properties are very spread out, which is nice.
I will say the first clients I ever booked to Club Med went to that resort, I believe. If
I remember
correctly. It was quite some time ago, but yeah.
I love that resort. I went, I actually was there the first week of March this year. Okay. My boyfriend and I were there for a week. We got home just before everything shut down. So I'm very thankful that I got to go on a vacation this year.
Yes,
to
not like everybody who's totally missing their vacations this year.
Yes, I do feel lucky that I got to do that because it'll be a while before I go again. Things have been are starting to get busier with work, just with making sure that all this information is out there for everyone and stuff. So no vacation time for me anytime soon. But hopefully everyone else can soon go.
Right.
And then another really important thing that I wanted to make note of, we were one of the first ones to start offering the COVID insurance. And I know this is another big question on people's minds because it was difficult to find any kind of insurance for a while. So just know that with Club Med, it's included. We have this through Europe Assistance. It's a COVID covered insurance and it is included in the package. You don't need to pay extra for it.
Good.
And the free cancellations is another important note. With all the uncertainty, a lot of people aren't booking right now, which I totally understand. But just know that we do have this in place when you're ready. For any new bookings made between May 18th, 2020 and December 31st, 2020, you can cancel your stay up to 15 days prior to departure and receive a full refund on the package when you're getting your air with Air Canada, WestJet, and Transat. So if you do think, well, you know, I might want to go away in January or February, but I'm unsure because it's still a bit far out, don't know what's going on. We do have this in place if you make your booking before December 31st that you could cancel and get a refund.
That's a really important point because people can still plan and
Yep.
have a flexible option in place if they change their minds or are not comfortable when it gets closer to the date.
Exactly. And that's why we put that in place, because we understand that it is uncertain, but we still want people to be able to dream and plan their travel. So we put that in place. And then, yeah, the rest is, I just want to kind of go over, because I think Club Med was forgotten about for a long time and people don't know much about it anymore. I get lots of strange questions about how Club Med used to be. So I just want to set the record straight. Club Med was for a very long time an adults only party resort. That's what it was known as. It was very popular for being a singles resort. We have evolved a lot over the years. We now have over 70 resorts worldwide. Every single one of them is all inclusive, and we're more of a family brand now. We do still cater towards adults. We have a couple of resorts that are adults only, and we have adults only spaces at some of the resorts, but it's much more family oriented. So we kind of have like something for everyone now.
That's good to know. I know
And
it's families that I've booked there, so I knew that it was
yeah.
a great family fit.
Yeah, they really are good for the families because they have all these different sections and there's something for everyone. And a lot of times there is like a family section that really caters towards families, which is really great because some resorts you go to and you know they kind of have something for everyone, but there's not specific areas for specific people. And we really started doing that more with our adults only spaces, our family spaces, and our kids clubs too. Our kids clubs start as low as 4 months old.
That's amazing. Do you know how hard it is to find a facility that takes kids as young as 4 months?
It's very difficult. I used to be a travel agent as well, and I know that it was almost impossible to find that. You can find babysitting services for after hours, like if mom and dad want to go for dinner, they can get a babysitter to come into the room for an extra charge, and we have that as well. But we have this kids club for ages 4 months up to 3 years that works the same way as the regular kids clubs from 4 years up to 17 years. And they're really good kids clubs too. They're not kind of sitting around eating chicken nuggets and doing arts and crafts. They're actually doing a lot of the activities, depending on the age group. They're doing a lot of the activities that the adults are getting involved in with the kayaking and the windsurfing and stuff. So they're learning a lot. There is a little bit of an educational value to the kids clubs at Club Med as well.
Good.
I should note that the 2 kids clubs under the age of 4 do have an extra charge because it's a more specialized service. For those 2, we only accept a certain amount of children per week. So there is an extra charge. It's around $100 a day, but kids under 4 stay free at Club Med.
So it's a good idea to have that booked and the children booked in before travel in order to secure the space. Yeah,
that's a good point. You should reserve that one beforehand. You don't have to, but if you get there and we already have the max amount of children in the club for that week, you won't be able to use it. So it is best to pre-reserve it.
Good.
And then some pictures. First, I want to talk about, so Club Med has a few different kind of aspects to its brand. We've got 3 Trident, 4 Trident, and 5 Trident villages. And that's just our internal lingo for star system, like 3, 4, and 5 stars. This resort here that I'm going to show you first is Miches Playa Esmeralda. It's a brand new build. We just opened it last year, and it's in between Punta Cana and Samana, and it's a 5 Trident. So it's part of our exclusive collection, which is part of our luxury brand. And it's actually 4 different sections in one resort. So it's almost like 4 boutique hotels inside one resort. And there's nothing else on that beach right now. So it's absolutely beautiful. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away from Punta Cana. So it's not right in the hustle and bustle and the busy area. It's kind of in the jungle on a beach and all brand new.
Looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the higher end suites with a plunge pool right by the beach.
Do you know plunge pools, having own private plunge pools is one of the most frequent requests that I receive
Yes.
when people are looking at vacation options.
And this is why this resort is brand new, and it's one of our first ones that has the plunge pools, because we didn't have any resorts that had that other than one in the Maldives, which I'll show you in a bit. We didn't really have any that had that, and people do ask for it quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we do have it here, and we're starting to have it at some of the other new builds as well. And then this here is interesting. So this is the flying trapeze, and at Club Med, this is one of the included activities. Club Med's really well known for activities and the amount of included activities and the lessons that are included with everything as well. So the trapeze is included at almost every single Club Med, and these guys are trained in trapeze. So you can get free lessons and learn how to do flying trapeze on your vacation. I tried it in Turks and it was scary and fun. And the spa, we have a spa at every resort as well. The spa is an extra cost. Some resorts you can use like the pools and stuff in the spa for free, but the services are extra.
Of course.
I'm not going to show you pictures of every single resort because we have over 70 and we'd be here all day. So I'm really just showing you more the ones that are more popular for the Canadian travelers and the ones that have the most options of direct flights. So Punta Cana, so about 10 minutes from the airport. We have a partnership with Cirque du Soleil at this property and at a property in Nice, or just outside of Nice in France. And it's Creactive, it's called. It's a circus school. So it's a fully included circus school. So not only can you learn flying trapeze on your vacation, you could learn how to join the circus on your vacation as well.
That's a good thing to do with your kids.
Yeah, and it's for all ages too, which is really great. A lot of people think, oh, it's just for kids, but there's actually a time frame in the morning that's for children to do lessons, and then a separate time frame in the afternoon that's for adults to do lessons.
Interesting.
And an adults only space as well for 18 and over. So a lot of our resorts, our new resorts, are getting these Zen Oasis adults only spaces, and some of our existing resorts are having renovations done and having these Zen Oasis added in. So we moved away from catering towards adults only a while ago, moved more towards families, and now we're going in a direction where it's kind of catering towards everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 5 Trident space that's inside of Punta Cana. So some of our resorts are 4 Trident resort, which is 4 stars in our system. And then it'll have a 5 Trident space, like an exclusive collection space. So if you like having more of an exclusive area, you would want to look at one of our exclusive collection spaces or an exclusive collection resort, because then you have access to the 5 Trident space, but the people staying at the main part of the resort do not have access to that space. So this space here is called Tierra. It has a whole bunch of 2-bedroom family suites, all ocean view, with its own pool for that area and its own concierge and check-in as well. And Cancun. Cancun has a family space now with all 2-bedroom. This is it here with a new pool and 2-bedroom suites as well.
2-bedroom suites are an amazing offer to have for families, because lots of times, you know, families don't all stay in the same room at home. So they like to have that separate space when they go on vacation too. And it's really hard to find.
It is hard to find. And this section here is a newer section for us. Half of it already existed. Then we switched over to being more of a family section and not just part of the rest of the resort. And then we added 2 more buildings last year as well. I actually ended up staying in this section when I was there in March, even though it was just my boyfriend and myself, but we ended up getting one of the 2-bedroom suites. And these rooms, they're huge. It was ridiculous. We didn't need all that space, but it was also nice because they're all ocean facing. Mm-hmm. They all face that right there. And it's got 2 full bedrooms. It has a big bathroom by the parents' bedroom. And the parents' bedroom, the bed faces the balcony out overlooking the ocean. When you first come in the room, there's another bathroom and a bedroom with another bathroom inside of it. So The bathroom in the kids' bedroom just has a bathtub and a sink. And then there's a small bathroom in the main hall that has a toilet and a sink. And then there's a bigger bathroom closer to the parents' room. And there's a big long hallway. So it's massive. It's a huge, huge suite. This is the parents section of the Agua Marina section, so the parents' bedroom. And you could also pull those curtains and somebody could sleep on the couch.
Look at that view.
You can't beat that.
I know. Makes me jealous here today.
And then Turks. So Turks, this one sells like hotcakes. This is so popular. This is one of our only adults only properties. So it's for 18 and over. It is all inclusive, and you can get it for around $2,000 a person for Turks, which is unheard of, really. There's not that many all inclusives on that island. So it's a great option. So it is 18 and over though. We did get hit by both the hurricanes here in 2017, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because we ended up doing some renovations to fix up the damage, and we did renovations above and beyond what the damages were. So our pool was completely redone into an above ground infinity pool. And this property didn't used to have any balconies on it, and we added 80 balconies to the deluxe rooms. And we're right on Grace Bay, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
I've gotten to walk that beach quite a few times, and yeah, I can agree. It's one of the most amazing beaches in the world.
And so there's the deluxe room with the balcony. And you might notice I did put a few pictures of rooms in here because I wanted you to see the Club Med rooms. We've never been known for our rooms. And that's because we're more known for our food and our activities and our social aspect. So I was doing a presentation the other night, and we got into a talk about the rooms. They're very basic, but you can see they're very nice, but basic. If you're looking for chandeliers and that sort of thing, maybe Club Med's not the resort for you, but the exclusive collection spaces do have more extravagant rooms. But the other rooms are very basic, but it's because you'll see you really don't spend time in your room when you're at a Club Med. I've been quite a few times to Club Meds, and I've never even turned the TV on in one of these rooms. I'm just never in there. There's so many activities and so much to do that you're just really not spending a ton of time in the room. So we don't spend a lot of time decorating the rooms. They're very basic.
These rooms look great to me, and I know a lot of the requests that I'm seeing more and more is for something that's more contemporary looking, sleek, clean lines. And, you know, that does make it come across more basic, but that is what people like these days.
Yeah.
So
I find it to be like, it's like the Scandinavian decor, simple but nice. Martinique, this is Buccaneers Creek in Martinique. So this one does not have, it only has direct flights out of Montreal. But I wanted to show this one because it's a beautiful island and it's something different. And if you don't mind doing a short connection through Montreal, it's well worth it, this property. Also, this is one of our properties that, although we're a family-friendly brand, not all of our properties have kids clubs. So if you are taking children with you, just make sure that, like, ask Lois which one has the kids clubs if you're wanting to use them, because not all of them do have the kids clubs. And if you have young children, you're probably going to want that infrastructure of having a children's club. So Martinique doesn't have any kids club, but we do accept children of all ages. There just isn't really an infrastructure for them. So generally you'll find more adults at this property. Sandpiper Bay in Florida. This one is not on the ocean. It's actually on a river, on the Port Lucia River. So we do have a water sports area there, as you can see, but it's just not right on an ocean. And we have a Zen Oasis pool for adults only at this one as well.
And this is all inclusive as well, right?
It is, yeah. And
for a all-inclusive property within the US. And I think this is one of the only ones we can point to.
I think it's one of the only ones that's fully all inclusive. I know there are some that might offer like a breakfast or a couple meals or something, but this works the same way as the ones in like the Caribbean do with the fully all inclusive. So you can get a package, get transfers, flight, everything. Tons of golf in the area. We get a lot of golf groups here. All of our sports academies are here as well. So if you're really into tennis, volleyball, golf, and you want like proper, really good lessons, there are lessons included, but then you can get private lessons with a pro at this property as well for an extra charge. and Quebec. So we're opening a property in Quebec, which is huge because it'll be all inclusive. So it'll be the only all inclusive in Canada.
Wow, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, we're super
Especially in
excited.
these times where people would prefer to vacation within Canada probably for a while.
And unfortunately, we were supposed to open it when we first announced it a couple of years ago. It was supposed to open this December, but about a year after we announced it, there was a delay with the construction. So before COVID even hit, there was a delay with the construction. So I think just over a year ago, we announced that it won't open until December 2021.
Okay.
So we still got a little bit of a wait left, but the construction
No,
is
it's coming.
it's coming. And not only that, the sales are opening this December. So you can book it this December for the following December.
That sounds like a great Christmas gift for somebody who loves to travel but has their trepidations about it at the moment.
Yeah.
Under the tree this year, there can be a trip to Club Med Quebec for next Christmas or next
That's
winter.
actually a really good idea. Yeah, because I don't know the exact opening date. I know it's December 2021. It's probably going to be just before Christmas, like mid-December, maybe even early December. We're on time with the construction. We're actually ahead of schedule, which is great. And those sales will open this December in the first or second week of December. So keep your eyes open.
I'll make sure to do a post in my social media once that opens with
yeah,
links and information.
and we'll be sharing more pictures soon as well. These pictures here are actually computer generated, but I did see pictures last week. Some of my coworkers in Montreal went to visit the site. It's in Charlevoix, which is about an hour from Quebec City. And it's at the base of Le Massif Mountain. And they sent me some pictures of where we're at with the construction. And they had actually one of the rooms ready, a model room, and it looks just like the pictures. So very excited for this one. Most of our ski product that's in the Alps, it's a Sunday to Sunday stay only. But with Quebec, we're going to be allowing short stays. So there's a lot of drive-in market in Quebec, Ontario, everything around Quebec. Anyone then that's within like a 10-hour drive basically would probably drive here for a long weekend or something. So we will allow the short stays. And it's not just a ski resort, it's actually going to be open all year round. So if you want to go for a weekend getaway in the fall, which I highly recommend because this area is stunning. Oh, I don't have more pictures of it on here, but this area is stunning in the fall. All the different colored leaves. There's lots of valleys and stuff. It's beautiful. So there's hiking, mountain biking, of course, skiing and winter stuff going on in the winter as well. But yeah, keep your eyes open for sales on that. Lois will send you some stuff too. As soon as we have more pictures to share, we'll send them to you. And then some of the other resorts around the world, a lot of people didn't even realize that we have resorts outside of the Caribbean. If you want to go all inclusive, you can pretty much go anywhere in the world with Club Med. This one here is about an hour from Palermo Airport. It's in Sicily, and it's actually up on a cliff. And there's individual little buildings, and each building is a room, and it overlooks the Mediterranean. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I went a year ago, actually. It was this time a year ago for a conference, and we ended up staying in the little villettas, they're called, and just amazing. The view off the balcony overlooking the Mediterranean. The food is incredible. It's about a 15-minute walk into Cefalù, which is a little town nearby, which is beautiful. Big infinity pool. And so it's very close to lots of things. And I know that people don't think of an all-inclusive when they want to go to Europe. But most people want to rent a car and they want to explore. You can still do that because our resorts are set in areas where it's easy to get around. And we do have excursions desks where you can go and rent a car if you'd like to go scoot around and explore. This is one of my favorites. And although I've never been, and I don't know if I'll never ever get to go, I love looking at the pictures of this one. So in the Maldives, we have a resort called Kani. And this is a picture of the Finalu Villas, which is a exclusive collection of this property. And it's all these individual bungalows they're overwater bungalows with their own plunge pool, which is
I will say whenever it comes up and we post photos of overwater villas, no matter where in the world they are on social media, it gets more engagement than anything else. So you're on the right track here.
Yeah. I have this as my backdrop on my computer as well. I, I can't even, this picture is amazing. And that, of course. But yeah, who wouldn't want to go there, right? I mean, it's a little far, but the great thing about this is that I know a lot of people think, oh, the Maldives, it's so expensive, everything costs money. And of course, at a lot of the resorts, when you get there that aren't all inclusive, they'll charge you an arm and a leg for everything because they can, because you can't go anywhere else to get the stuff. But at Club Med, you've paid your package price already. It's all inclusive. So it's actually a really economical way to go and see this part of the world.
It is a bucket list type of destination, and
It
yes,
is.
it's a long ways away, but that like today's world is small. I know clients go a long ways for their vacations and plan for it around it,
Yeah.
This looks ideal for a honeymoon or an anniversary trip to me.
Yep. And it is a family resort, but you don't see a ton of children there. And it's the over the water bungalows, there's two different sections that have over the water bungalows. The Finaloo villas are for adults only, and then there's another section that has some that has some over the water bungalows, but you have to be over the age of 8 to use them. You don't find a ton of children at this property. Yeah, it's beautiful. We're also in Morocco, in Marrakesh. This property is a beautiful property. It's all lit up like this at nighttime with the pools and the archways and the palm trees. This is not an ocean resort. It is set just beside the downtown area of Marrakesh. There are free shuttles at the front gate of the Club Med that can take you in and out of the souks, which are the markets. So if you want to go and explore, you can do that. There's also a barn on site that has some ponies. So if kids want to go for pony rides, I think there's camels in the barn as well. And there's tons of stuff to do around this area. So the excursions desk has all the information of all the different things that you can do in the area as well. Whoops. We're in Bali, Indonesia. We always try and make the resorts look like where they're situated too, like they belong.
Yeah, the flora and fauna, it's appropriate to the destination, but this looks amazing.
Yeah. I've never actually been to Asia, but I imagine the first time that I do go, I'll be probably going to a Club Med. And this is news as well. We are opening a new resort February 6th, 2021 in Seychelles. So again, far away, but well worth it. It is all inclusive. It's another family resort. It's part of our exclusive collection. It's actually being built on a private island as well, which is really cool. And I think I have a couple of pictures of what that one's going to look like. Oh, just have one picture there.
Yeah, it makes sense that like it's a good feature that children are permitted. Recognizing though that there probably won't be many children, but there are some families who, especially with young children, they prefer to bring them on these vacations rather than leave them home. So having an option where they can and it's accommodated is a really good thing.
And it's good because a lot of the resorts that are the family-friendly resorts with the kids clubs and everything, they usually have the 2-bedroom suites. So there's lots of space for the family as well.
Good.
And it makes it hassle-free with those kids clubs too. So a lot of people don't realize that we have ski resorts. So we're actually located we have ski resorts in China and Japan, but most of our ski resorts are in the Alps, in France, Italy, and Switzerland. But the majority of them being in France. And they are all inclusive as well. So you're going to get if you buy a package, it'll include your flight, your transfer, your hotel, food and beverage, activities, ski lessons, and your ski passes for a week. I think the starting price point is just under $3,000 a person. And that gets you all of that for a week in the French Alps.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good considering it's very expensive to go to Europe, especially if you're buying everything separately. So if you if you purchase your hotel and your flight and a car rental or your transfer, you're still paying for food every day that you're there. And in that case, you're then paying in euro. Whereas with this, you buy your package beforehand in Canadian pricing. And then you really don't need to open your wallet again unless you want to go to the gift shop or if you want to go into town for dinner or something. Otherwise, it's included already.
Having done a couple of European vacations, I can attest that what you're saying is exactly true. What it adds up to in euros on your credit card is a lot more than what you thought.
It's always the worst part of a Europe vacation is coming home and opening your credit card statement, I think anyway. So this, and it's very hassle-free too, because with the kids, the ski lessons are included for everybody. But an important thing to note, if you do have children and you're wanting to make use of those kids clubs or the free lessons, if you have kids and you want them to have free lessons, you have to make sure that you book one of the resorts that has a kids club of that age group. That's the only way that the kids will have the included lessons. If you go to one of the resorts that is family friendly but doesn't have any kids clubs, there won't be any lessons for the children. So just keep that in mind. You'll also have access to the ski room, a ski locker dedicated just to you. Your room key is on a bracelet always at Club Med, which also you can load your credit card to, so you don't have to bring your wallet around the resort. You can use your bracelet to pay for things at the gift shop, the spa, wherever. But that bracelet at the ski resort actually opens your own dedicated locker in the ski room. So that means you don't have to lug your wet ski equipment up to your bedroom every day, which is nice. A few pictures of these ones. This one is Alpe d'Huez in France. It just reopened last year. It was closed for a season while we did some extensive renovations, and now it's basically like a brand new resort. Grand Massif Samoans Morillon in France. This one, there's a gondola. This is set actually up the mountain, and a lot of these resorts are ski in, ski out. So this is a ski in, ski out set halfway up the mountain. And there's a gondola up there that actually brings you down into the town of Samoans. And with your package included is access to that gondola whenever you want. So there are other things to do. If you're not a skier, don't worry. You don't have to be a skier to enjoy these resorts. There's the spa, there's fitness classes, there's Nordic walking, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing. You can go into town. There's tons of stuff to do. So you don't have to be. I'm a snowboarder, and if I went here for a week, I would not be snowboarding for an entire week because I don't think my body could handle it. But I would be definitely doing some of the other activities that are included. And the restaurant at Grand Massif.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. Arcs Panorama is another one in France. You'll see they have indoor pools and some also have outdoor pools, and that's because some of them are open in the summertime as a summer mountain experience resort. So they're beautiful.
That looks like a great wedding location to me.
It does actually. It might be a little chilly, but it looks good.
Okay.
La Rosière is also in France. This is a brand new one that we're opening this year. I just love the inside of them. The ski resorts, they're so nice. The bedroom at La Rosière. And then we have something called the exclusive collection, which I talked about. This is just a map showing where the options of the exclusive collections are around the world. So if you're more into the luxury travel or having exclusive spaces, and you're interested in Club Med, this is kind of shows where in the world you can go to get that. And then just the latest offers and programs that we have for you guys. We have a great members loyalty program. So basically it's a program that we put in place for you guys. The more often you go, the more points you get, and you can redeem the points for things like resort credit, which could be used for spa or premium alcohol. You can also get room upgrades with it. Our referral program. So if you're an existing Club Med client, and to be an existing Club Med client, you just have to book once. Then you could refer a friend, and if they book, they'll get money off their trip, and you'll also get money in your account towards your next trip as well. We have an app. It's Club Med Resorts. It's got information on all the resorts, and when you're on site, it's very useful because it has maps of the property, locations and times of the different activities, what the evening entertainment is, the weather, everything. And we have a program called Pick Your Room that's available at some of the resorts, where you can actually pay a small fee to pick your exact room location instead of just putting a request on and hoping for the best. And then this is the current promotion that we have on right now, where you can get your first checked bag free, no single supplement, and kids under 4 stay free. And we have early booking rates too.
These rates are from where?
So these rates, good question. I should have pointed that out. These rates, these are example rates for flights out of Toronto and Montreal. Okay. However, the pricing is similar throughout Canada as well, and we can price and package from anywhere in Canada.
So what airlines would you be using for those packages?
For these ones,
Best available or?
the top three we normally use, depending on location, would be Transat, WestJet, Air Canada.
Okay.
But having said that, we actually are a tour operator. We're not just a hotel chain. We are a tour operator. We can package using any regular scheduled air. So the good thing about Club Med too is that you're not stuck to 1 week. And you're not stuck to, okay, I want to leave on this day, but that's the only flight available. You can actually pick your days and then pick your flights, and we'll package it. And when you get the flight through us, we throw in the transfer and you get a slight discount off the land to make it a more attractive package price. So depending on, so if this was going to like Cancun out of Toronto, it's probably on Air Canada, maybe Transat. Just depending on where you're coming from and where you're going.
And you could do connectors, obviously, like you can on any flight from
Exactly, yeah.
Newfoundland to Toronto to connect with that.
Yep. If you wanted to connect through the States for some reason, we could package that in, as long as you're departing out of Canada. So we can package pretty much anything. That's why Club Med's great like that, because it's very flexible. And a lot of people think, okay, all inclusive means a 1 week vacation. And when you think of going to Europe, you think, oh, I want to go for longer than a week and I want to explore. Maybe you want to go to Club Med for 5 days and then travel around in a car rental. You can do that too. So it's very flexible. So
another question that somebody might be wondering, with the, like if people were booking now and they're looking for like, further ahead, making it a Christmas present, whatever, and they're choosing the resort and the room category and wanting to put a refundable deposit down, and then can I call back later for them and add the air on, or does it have to be done at the same time?
No, you can add the air on later, because in some cases we open up our sales before the airlines have opened up their flight schedules.
Right.
So you just adjust the file later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no single supplement. That's huge.
Like that's a special on this promotion. Normally we do have a single supplement, but it's different amounts all the time. So it's not one set rate. It depends on time of year, but on this promotion, there's no single supplement.
That's a really good offer.
Yeah. And then we have our early booking rates that are available right now as well for any of the Club Meds. So this one here is just for the resorts in like the Caribbean, Mexico, and the US. And this one here is for early booking for any of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's all I got. I mean, I got more. I could talk all day about Club Med.
Actually, that was very valuable information. I know I learned a few things just about the number of resorts they had. I'm somewhat familiar, but you covered it all. You covered the beach vacations, you cover Europe, and you cover ski. So that's a lot of choices that somebody might have on their bucket list for future. And not to mention those overwater villas. Everybody listening would want to experience one of those.
I think that's on everyone's bucket list.
Including you and I.
Yeah. One day I will go.
Yeah, that was very valuable information. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on today and share all of that with us and our listeners. Great information. And just before we get off the call, I just want to let everybody know they can reach out with any questions on this presentation or anything else that they've seen on our live broadcast in the past. We do understand that people are traveling according to their comfort levels, and that will be different going forward for almost everybody who's listening. And, even if you're not looking, this is the time for dreaming. It's a time for planning, and it's a time for booking far in advance. That will give you the best choice and usually the best price. And the specials like Janet has put up there for us to see are dependent on booking far in advance. So that's a very valuable piece of information. And hopefully there's something there that can make your vacation dreams come true. I sure did see a few things. And once again, thank you very much for joining us. And Janet, welcome to the Travel Talk Thursday. You were a great addition.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.